try to...
I was being polite. Thank you.
That's crazy.
What?
The burp and blow away is crazy.
It's called being polite. Thank you.
I don't know if polite society would agree.
What do? Just burp and then look
I'd probably
back?
like kind of close my mouth a little bit and be like...
That feels way crazier to try to cough
I
on
think
top
it's
of a
crazier
burp.
to go... Blah. That's crazy.
That's polite.
Good boys. La la la. La la la. Good boys.
I felt like such a failure. Just so you know. I mean, I absolutely objectively was a failure and really felt it as I left.
Really? I
Yeah,
don't
man.
want you to feel that way.
Buddy, we shot a whole one of these, and I get to the end, and the only audio we have is me hitting the button and going, I don't think I recorded fucking any of that.
And we'll insert that clip here.
I don't think I recorded any of that, dude. I'm going to kill myself.
The whole
That's what's
thing?
going to happen.
It's pretty rough.
That fucking sucks.
But it happens.
Yeah, that's all we had from it, dude.
Yeah, that was rough.
So, yeah, I left your house in the last, 3 days. I've been like, you idiot.
I feel like it did make me reflect on the pod a little bit this week. And I feel like maybe we need segments or something.
Because you have no idea what we talked about? Like, no
Well,
framework to
certainly I
remember
have
it
no
by?
idea what we talked about. But also, I just feel like we're sharing a lot of personal stories about our lives, and a little bit I'm like, who cares? You know, I feel like we're doing the kind of podcast people do when they've done something of note, and then people get to know about them after. Do you know what I mean?
I'm not the podcast connoisseur you are, so I can't say
I
to the
am.
exact same level. I'm just going to turn these
Is
up.
it recording?
No. Just going to turn them up. Just maybe I'm not. I don't know what I'm doing, dude. I'm just so nervous I messed up last time.
And I was really mean about it.
The whole
So.
time you've been texting me, saying, that had to been you, those numbers saying kill yourself, right?
Oh, yeah, and all my
This is all
friends
your
and your
bots.
loved ones. And
I don't listen to podcasts like you.
and
So
I do.
You do, and I just don't know about, the different set types, I guess. Because all the
Sure.
ones I listen to, they have segments sometimes.
Mm.
But it's it's like politics podcast. Those guys were just guys. Comedian podcast.
We
they're
could
just
do
comics.
politics.
Yeah, I think that would be super insightful for the two of us to do.
I was actually going to embarrass myself for the point of me not knowing a lot about politics, and I was like, let me not embarrass
You
myself.
don't need to do that. That's okay. No, I just mean
Who's the mayor of Louisiana?
I don't know because it's a governor.
Me neither.
Because it would be a governor. That was the point.
Right.
That was on purpose, right? Please tell me
Yes,
that
that was on purpose.
Yeah.
Who's a mayor of Louisiana? Probably Gertie McSerpentine.
It's a new character for you. Is there? Do you have segment ideas you want to do?
Well, here's a couple things I've been thinking about.
Okay.
Because we talked about doing some sort of read-along or some sort of watch-along.
Oh yeah.
Just because I feel like people do gravitate towards existing IP.
Interesting. I feel like that's less of a reason to watch us. I think that pigeonholes us more. The thing is,
And I get what you mean.
you and I are doing this before we've published anything, and I think that's good and worthwhile because, I got the color back for my special. Looks good.
Mhm.
Audio's almost done. It's going to be out in the next 2 months, right? Which I'm thrilled about. But that'll be a thing a bigger thing I can send a bunch of people to that will hopefully come over to this.
Right.
Same with when you have runs of your shows now, you can be in the programs and all that.
Right.
Where my framework is all stand-ups doing podcasts, right? It's not, I don't do actor ones or improviser ones. And all those guys were just doing them so that when they're on the road, if someone likes a joke they told, likes their point of view, you go, hey, go listen to me on my podcast. And it kind of co-builds together.
Sure.
So I don't, when you talk about segments, I can't even really picture what that would look like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't have shows that do that.
I feel like we're kind of verging sometimes on video diary where I'm telling all these stories about my life in the sense, and I'm just one, why does anyone care? Two, it's weird that people are getting my childhood stories just 'cause.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like we could have an evolution.
Okay.
But we might have to just think on it a little
Yeah,
bit.
that's interesting because I was going to tell you what I did last night.
Well, before that, I was even thinking like we can come in with like, was that a joke or were you actually going to? But that's the thing about it. We can spend the first 15 minutes catching up about the week. Oh, what happened?
Right.
And people like that, and I like that. Monetize all your friendships if
Of course,
possible.
we were literally having a conversation. Let's wait until we're recording for me to say this thing.
Yeah.
So,
And we make so much money from this podcast. But we could spend that first 15 minutes being like, what'd you do? What'd you do? Oh, that reminds me of this, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get into it. And then I was like, so then what are we getting into? I thought it might be interesting to take like, since I was thinking of our shared interests.
Okay.
And I was not planning on having this combo on mic. But maybe it's a little, maybe this could be,
Sure.
maybe we could have a podcast where every episode we plan a podcast. No, that's not
I'm
funny.
not doing that.
But
That's
if
so
we were
much
like,
more work
we'll
than
do a
one.
podcast. I know. But we might have to put a little work.
Yeah.
But I think maybe that's where I can contribute because you're so good at editing and making these clips. That's not my tea.
Yeah.
But I might be able to bring something else to the table
I see. Yeah.
besides my wit and charm.
I would be happy to do news of the week stuff too.
I'd be happy to do that too.
Like we talked. I don't know, man. I think we're in a good place. I think we're just finding it, and we're both a little burnt out because we had early success
I
in our
know.
things, right?
I
so
know.
I think we had a clip go pretty viral. I mean, to us, yes, 450,000 views is a lot.
450 million views would be
Insane.
crazy.
But that is a flash in the pan to have one video do that. Like, so I'm saying we went kind of viral.
Yeah.
You know?
No, certainly.
No one wrote a news article about me saying Leslie Jordan's in hell. But like a lot of people had feelings about it. And then we kind of quickly got what we felt like were a lot of views on shorts on YouTube and stuff.
Yeah.
And now we're both like, but nothing's happening.
I know. And that's how I'm feeling.
Yeah. I think that the build comes from, like I said, as things release. Do you know what I mean? And it's, to me, it is, I've said it, it's a place to like collect folks, not a place to like drive new folks.
Right.
If that makes sense.
No,
So,
it
like,
does.
but that's where you and I are both like, we don't have a thing driving new people over yet.
Well, yes. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, I listened to this podcast, and guess what? It's called Good Children. I know.
Bastards.
But we're good
We're
boys.
good boys. It's a very specific.
We're adult boys.
We're fully grown boys.
Where they kind of have a more conversational podcast, though I think they do have a topic per pod where they'll be like, today's topic is sleep. And then they talk
Yeah.
about whatever they want, but whenever there's a lull, they go back to...
I see. Well, so like the people I'm looking at is who we.
Wait, really quick.
Oh yeah.
But sometimes I struggle with that pod. I listen to it because they live in Bushwick, I think, and one of them has had several viral videos, and so I recognize their face, and then it comes up on Spotify, and I'm like, oh, I've seen this guy's funny videos on. I might check this out.
Yeah.
But once in a while, I struggle because of the who cares element. So the parts where they're not being funny, I'm like, I don't care about your life.
I have thoughts on this. I think one, you're right. Might not should have done this on mic. This might be incredibly boring for Who Cares about the Who Cares podcast.
I actually think this is kind of interesting.
Well,
Interesting. It's interesting.
So interesting.
Very interesting.
no, I do have one. I have a friend who texts me like after episodes. A guy I work with. I think that's awesome. Shout out Ben Cadillac, best name in the business. I'll cut it out.
That's good.
Yeah, it's his given name, but he literally is one who.
Got me a Cadillac, Cadillac.
Was that?
Got me a Cadillac car. It's from Dreamgirls.
Oh, great. Well, I'm so
Jennifer
sorry I
Hudson
didn't
won an
realize it.
Oscar. I've been defending that movie all week at work.
Okay, well, it's got nothing to do with me.
We'll talk
Please
about it
don't
in a second.
Come at the Les Mis energy of it.
I know.
Defending
Remember
the
when we were
my
like,
whole life.
our Les Mis clip is gonna go so viral. No one cared.
No one cared. My real
But that is one of the things that I love about you, and something that I think we have so in common is our delusions of grandeur.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think you have to be delusional in this life to make anything worthwhile.
yeah.
Was that depressing as hell?
No, I agree. It's because we're in a pretty bleak present. I think that
Do you think it has to do with us being white men? Like growing up,
I
like
don't
the
imagine
world
what
is
that
our
could
oyster?
possibly have to do with anything. That doesn't affect me at all.
Oh,
positively.
right. I forgot.
What do
right.
you mean that woke?
That doesn't affect our experience going through
or
this
like
life
the
in
way
any way.
I feel around police officers.
But I'm like, we're we have the world at our feet.
Yeah.
Anything's possible.
I know what you're saying.
That's besides the point.
I think
And
that-
another, sorry, I keep
Go ahead, go
interrupting
ahead.
you, and
No,
I
no,
think
no.
I just did that one because I thought it was funny.
really?
Because I did it like 6 times in a row.
I'm curious about this, and also there are people that watch this that I don't know. Like we get
True.
you, so
Our 17
if
subscribers.
you have thoughts, write them down. We'd love to know. You can message us. You don't have to comment.
We can keep talking about our dicks.
Well, I think we ride a weird wave of being jokey and being serious.
Sure.
And that's not bad. That's who I am at my core.
Well,
I want to be
sure.
silly and incredibly serious, but I'm also like, I don't know that makes it harder to get new people in. Right? If we were doing the Brittany Broski, everything's a joke. The Caleb Heron, it's all kind of a joke, right?
You might be surprised by Brittany Broski's podcast.
Yeah?
Caleb Heron, certainly most stuff is a joke. And I love it. And Brittany, I love you to death. She had a moment on her podcast that nearly made me sob my eyes out.
Yeah.
We could do a podcast recap podcast.
Oh my God.
She had this moment where she was talking about growing up and letting things go in your past. And she spoke so beautifully where she's like, I feel like things are getting ripped away from me and I'm leaving claw marks on them because I love those things, but they have to go out of my... And just the way she was speaking about it, I was like, why am I crying on the L train?
Well,
Sorry, that's besides the
no,
point.
No, I don't watch her. What I have seen has all seemed very...
She's screaming into the microphone.
And that's not...
right,
that's
right.
neither good nor bad. I'm not saying that in that comment. I'm saying those guys are that. And like, you know, Matt and Shane's Secret Podcast, that's who I think of. They're the biggest Patreon. Of course, that's where my brain goes, right? You know, it is all jokes. It has always been making fun of. It was them when they were on the road, when they had 17 listeners for years at a time. You know what I mean? It makes me think about it's two different people. Bill Burr talking about when he was not doing well early in his career, and Chappelle had shot up to fame, and Chappelle told him, he was like, after a show they were both on, he was like, man, you chose the hard way to do this, but keep doing it. Like, you're doing it right. And he said that sustained him. And then something Conan said was like, it's everyone's trying to make a noise is what you're doing if you're trying to get successful in comedy or in entertainment. And Conan's like, you just have to ring your bell, and it will cut through eventually. But you'll see these people who have a louder bell or a different tone that it blows up and then it goes away. And Conan, someone who just has been making that same weird noise for 30 years, and it came out, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm happy to restructure if that's what you want to do. I kind of like the idea of keeping this, and like I said,
You were talking about the 6-month mark a lot, which I appreciate, but I feel like we're gathering some information already.
Sure.
You know?
Yes, and I don't think
Ooh, improviser.
we're early enough in the... I've been actively saying that more in real life. Because if you're the improv rules...
No, you
life
haven't.
rules, just I'm trying to... When I communicate, and I've noticed it's helped my communication to say yes to what people just said.
Oh.
And also... Because
That's pretty good.
it's even when I disagree with the core of what they're saying, I can yes to part of it. It's been helpful, but you know, like Matt and Shane are people to think about. They're like, you know, they for years didn't have anything, and the reason we bleep out our partner's name is actually from a story from that where Matt got.
I was gonna say redacted.
Right.
Redacted.
You're such a dick.
Redacted.
Yeah, that's work for me. But the reason we do that.
Redacted.
You're such a prick. I'm leaving that one in. That's
No!
on you.
Redacted.
Well, Shane basically said when he was real. Shane Gill said when he was like, no one was listening to the podcast. No one had been listening for months and years at this point. He talked about how his heart was fucked up because a girlfriend broke up with him and how he was real sad. And he got kind of vulnerable about it. And then years later, like now times, you know, when he's been huge, one of the biggest comics in the world, she called him because... Or maybe a friend called him because someone had like called her school she worked at, like some crazy fan years and years later. I'm saying to say like maybe we pull back on the personal, I guess, but that's why we don't do our partners' names on this,
right?
And we try to keep names out of stuff as best we can, you know, even if it's like fellow comics. Not to assume we'll get famous, but what psycho's listening to 20 episodes of this, you know?
That's true.
But I mean,
freaks.
Like, that's where he is, I guess. That's like, or kind of where I look at some of this stuff where I go, yeah, man, there is no podcast boom coming. We are in the, it is, we basically,
we're almost post.
Well, we started a sitcom early 2000s. Do you know what I mean? Like the sitcom was kind of not over, but like it was huge. There were big ones, and we just started our own. So I don't want to lose faith in what we've been doing.
And I love what we've been doing, and I don't want that to get misconstrued. Yeah, I just personally feel that we could. I hate when people say personally, because of course it's personally. I'm saying There was this person I went to school with, and I don't want to tell a personal story, but I'm going to, who would always say, for me personally, I think, girl, just say I think. She took up a lot of time and space.
That's a really good way to describe somebody. Is,
She did.
Yeah, you really take up a lot of time
I'm like,
and space.
I'm paying tuition, and I have to listen to you say, for me personally, I think, girl, that was $20. That was
This is
20
NYU,
US
yeah.
dollars. Okay.
I told you my friend that I think needs a chess timer.
A chess
Do you know that
timer?
when they like go play chess and you make your
Oh,
move
a
and then you hit the
chess
button
timer. Yeah.
and then their time starts? I think that most conversations should come with that. Like 20 minutes on the clock, Eve, you burned through yours. It's not because I don't like to talk, brother. It is because
Okay, let's try it. And what's our topic?
we don't have a chess timer.
But
I
we
will get
can-
one though. No, the point is to let him see.
Yes, and me. I want to try.
Okay. Let's talk about chess with our chess timer.
Let's talk about chess timers.
We're good at this. See, you're right. We should pivot into off the cuff riffs. That's really where our strengths lie.
Okay. The knight is sexier than the king or the queen. No, I'm not a furry. And the castle should be a person.
Bishop, sexiest of all. Moving them diagonal lines. Boom.
I also, the bishop feels very feminine to me as well, and I think it should be the bishopess.
I love that. I don't know why. It is very feminine to me as
feminine.
well. Yeah, out of all of the ones to sexualize a chess piece, I'm fucking bishop, number one.
Right.
Even over the one who's objectively
Right.
a woman,
I think
queen.
the knight is more
Hey,
masculine.
now it's your turn. You don't get to...
I think the knight is more masculine, and maybe that's why I'm drawn to that, but it is a horse.
That big old cock, dude. That's the
God.
attraction.
I also like that it kind of moves in a weird,
I'm giving you your time back. Sorry.
reclaiming my
So
time.
no, it's at the end of your talk you hit it, and the other guy's time starts. So I hit it. Now you. Dude, fuck.
Fuck you. Fuck you, hit.
Why is it that the castle seems super masculine?
No, the castle doesn't. The knight does.
The castle, really? The castle feels...
The rook?
Yes. All
Is
right.
that the same as the castle?
Yes. Rook is the castle on the ends.
Castle on the ends. It's
Yeah.
a castle on a cloud. Hashtag Les Mis.
Hashtag Les Mis. Greatest movie of all time. Turn me around on that one.
Okay. The castle is also masculine. Far more masculine than the bishop.
That's because the bishop is a cute little girl. Like,
Oh, and you want to fuck a cute little girl?
do you not?
No.
We're just... I was actually, you know what my thought was there, and I didn't want to get in trouble for it, and that what came out was worse.
Okay.
I'd be like, yeah, because the bishop's a cute little trans girl, that's why. And I was making, that was more adult.
I see what you mean. Femboy.
Yes.
I get it. And the bishop wants it bad.
Thank you. Bishop wants it bad.
See, and didn't we have so much
Yeah.
fun with that?
I think-
And
how-
aren't you glad we did?
Did you end up watching History of the World Part 1?
I can't wait to be a parent. See? I told you so.
What? Oh, see, he told you so.
That's what I'm going to say to my future
Damn.
child.
That's why I don't fucking buy you shit. Did you watch History of the World Part 1?
No.
It's
I intend on it.
It's great. It's a sketch movie. You know what I mean? It's like it's a history movie that's loosely narrative, but there's a lot of stuff from the French Revolution
Okay.
and the introduction to that because it's a tale of two cities and it's also the Prince and the Pauper. I think it's kind of both.
Okay.
Where they've got the stand-in for the king who gets you know what I mean? Like that whole
Mhm,
story.
mhm.
Well, the king, they're showing you what a bastard he is, and they do it they start out playing chess, but the chess is little people dressed up as the pieces.
Uh-huh.
And they're screaming in because it's the French Revolution, so they're screaming in a big thing. And after like the second move, he goes, I invoke the king's privilege. It's pawn jumps queen, knight jumps queen, queen jumps queen, gang bang, and then they just all pile in the middle. And the story keeps going on, and then he comes off and goes, all right, give her some air. She's been so great to all of us.
I'm kind of following.
Yeah, he's the best. Mel Brooks is the best.
I mean, you encouraged me to watch Blazing Saddles, and I think it's a masterpiece.
It's so fun.
It hasn't
highs and
quite
lows.
made it to my Letterboxd top 4, but it might soon replace The Fifth Element.
Oh, really?
I've now watched Blazing Saddles 2 or 3 times.
Whoa, that's awesome.
I know. I just think the end is so inspired and brilliant and it's so perfect.
Yeah.
And it's so climactic. I love a fucking ending.
You know I love a fucking climax.
And you know how I feel about climaxes.
Yeah, everybody's been saying.
You know how I
feels
feel about a climax.
climaxes.
Well, I love an ending. I feel like I get so infuriated by so much modern media that's just like,
Yeah,
and I'm like, no, end the movie. End it.
I think that's a sickness of TV because TV took over all the good movies. All the good movies they ended up
Are now
becoming
TV shows.
and you never want a TV show to end. That's why movies are objectively better than TV. Boom.
Bonk. Movies are not objectively better than... Maybe it's a debate podcast. Movies are not objectively better than TV because TV, you can grow relationships with people over the course of years and your life changes with them as their life changes. Also, writers can watch reactions to different seasons and make edits based on that. A movie has to live in its totality forever.
I think those are both weaknesses of the art form. Actually, that's a cool feature of them, but the thing I'm saying makes movies better is that they have to end it as a full story and it can survive or fail on its merits and as a piece of art, not as a and you do have obviously the parasocial relationship with certain actors, but yeah, I just think that the best TV show will be not as good as the best movie.
I have to raise you that the ending of Scrubs made me sob my eyes out for hours and hours and hours because of how close I felt to the characters, and they really delivered. I do understand that they knew, I think 2 seasons in advance, that it was like the end, so they weren't trying to get renewed for another season, and I think that is where TV shows fall short. But I'm sorry. It's not your turn.
I'm trying to move my piece over here. I need permission to move my piece.
I'm sorry, my sexy little rook is gonna...
my sexy little femboy
My sexy femboy knight is moving into your queen. And I forgot what I was gonna fucking say.
Scrubs is my favorite show of all time. I defend it as the best sitcom ever made. I love
Yay,
Scrubs.
we're friends.
We are. No, I think Scrubs is immaculate.
I love Scrubs.
The first season to me is pretty much perfect. I love it. It goes with 2 problems with that. That wasn't the finale. They made more.
And they did make more.
And they, Bill
was
Lawrence,
it officially called
yes,
Scrubs?
It was called Scrubs.
Oh.
Bill Lawrence didn't want it to be. He wanted it to be called something else.
It should have been called something else. It was terrible.
But I'm saying that does tint it.
It does tint it. It taints it.
It sure taints it.
It's full of taint.
And again, I do love that show. I think it's the best
love
show
that
ever.
show.
But the way I describe it is, how in like an RPG slider, there's gonna be there's a bunch of skills like intelligence, charisma, endurance, strength, speed. You know what I mean? Like if you're playing Dungeons and Dragons or like any RPG game.
Oh yes.
I think Scrubs has the most overall points. I think there are funnier shows, there are more thoughtful shows, there are more serious, better surprising. Yeah. But if you just want to go total, it hits the highest mark on the most things.
Yeah.
It's so good. But also
the musical episode.
It's guy love, dude.
I love the musical episode.
Of course you do.
We're gonna miss you, Carla. We're gonna miss you around here.
When Laverne dies.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's got.
I'm doing a rewatch. I've got to.
It's got a Scrubs rewatch podcast.
Uh-oh.
So we can
it's
go
the perfect amount of time. People aren't talking about it. Zach Braff is
Donald
a
Faison.
proven icon.
Is he?
I think he dates like 19-year-old girls.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And they were talking about doing a reboot.
Really?
Yeah, him and Donald Faison are in Faison? I don't know. But
they're in all those commercials.
Yeah,
that also taints it for me. Taint.
But this one thing, even what I think is the best show ever, like I think Blazing Saddles is better, right? I think that you know what I mean. Like on the whole, it feels nice, but that's what I'm saying on the art, the limitations of the art.
On your whole, it feels nice.
Thank you.
Good. Yeah,
it's supposed to. That's no.
It's supposed. I would hope so. Okay.
So
I see your point.
It's not a downfall to me of TV. I don't I still love a good TV show. I just think that the self-contained nature of the art matters. It has a more ephemeral thing. I was thinking about this. Okay, I watched this video by a YouTuber called Pillar of Garbage, that's a community reference, but he does a lot of video essays. And
I had an extremely long-winded conversation about the TV show Community
because you don't like it, right?
I don't dislike it. I've just never seen it, and I didn't like the first episode.
You only watched one? I thought you told me you watched like a season and didn't like it.
I think I watched the first few and wasn't living.
It is crazy how different that show gets.
That's what everyone
totally.
says.
I
And
totally
I know I have to muscle through it.
Well,
I don't have time.
That's the kind of thing with TV too, though. It changes in a way that I'm. You know what I mean? Like this is that argument. But anyway, Pillar Garbage talked about this. I think it's. I don't remember the philosopher, but he was talking about like he worked at the time that movies were getting made, like when the technology to replicate film. So in the 20s, I guess. And he basically started talking about how it can never be as good as a play, which is so funny because everybody now hates plays compared to movies, like the average person. And the word he used to describe it is a more philosophical version of it. It was called aura, because the specificity of the time and place where the performance is given is in direct relation to the art and the consumer, where you're in that room. And, with improv, they always say, you're going to see the show once and never again. That's also true for every play and musical that's ever existed. That will never happen again. And if you do it in film, it's you cut and chop and like you do different takes, so it'll never actually have an aura of its own.
Yeah. Well, people, when I put up shows, they'll be like, "Ooh, can I see a video? Will there be a video?" No, you will not see a video. So you better be in that seat.
Yeah.
Or wait till the next one.
Yes.
That's also my take when people are like, "So what are you working on next?" Girl, you didn't see the last one. What do you mean, what am I working on next?
Probably going to put that one back up.
Yeah,
and
maybe.
people are going to love it.
But, like aunts and uncles and, tangential people will be like, "Oh, yeah, I heard about that. What's next for you?" Well, you didn't see that
Why
one,
do you care?
so why do you fucking care?
Yeah. Well, you'll be happy.
I'm not better in this way. I love you. I love you. I
love
you.
You don't come to my show. I love you.
You don't come to my show, and I love you.
To put your heart at ease, we lost last night.
Yes, I was just about to
piece of
ask.
shit. I know. I had an improv tournament that I was in with my partner Cassie. My
Max, I'm
improv.
so glad.
How did we
and I
lost?
would have understood.
Yeah.
I would have understood.
Would have understanded it.
I have been this woman all day, and she's really just in me. This woman's in me.
woman's
Hashtag
in
pegging. I would have understood and respected it. But I am so happy you get to go.
I didn't buy my tickets yet because I didn't want you to see it register. I didn't know if it was coming to you
I can't
or
see
through BCC. I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna buy it as soon as this
Yay.
podcast is over. We should have.
I probably could put you on the list.
I'd rather support your venue.
Yay.
We should have moved on, and that's not a bitter guy being like it's. I know I brought 3
politics.
people.
Was it politicky? Yeah.
Oh, I dumped my vote.
Load.
It's
all over that.
You had to. It's 4 teams, 4 duos, and then you had to vote for 2 of them for your ballot to count. And so I found out that my group of 5, so me and my improv partner and then my 2 roommates and my girlfriend, all went, and 3 of us put our votes in who we thought was bad and they moved on.
Huh.
So I think more than just the 3 of us put our vote into the one we thought was bad.
I see.
I think it came back to bite us.
Other people had the same plan as you.
And the crowd was small enough that really mattered.
Right.
It wasn't because it was maybe there's 5 of us.
You should have split
6 more improvisers, and they maybe about 5 people. So it was less than 20 people.
Yeah.
So when there's 100 people, everyone's just voting for who they like.
Yeah.
Actually, do you know
Literally,
what I mean? But
yeah.
when there's like this, we're all trying to do the gamesmanship, and it came back to bite us. And we all dumped our votes on the.
Were
wrong.
they all like, "Oh, great"?
No, because anyone who's an improviser already is a psycho a little bit. You're talking about our delusions of grandeur.
Yeah.
Anyone who has an improv duo really thinks they're hot shit. I'm owning up to that. But so no one was like, "Oh, well, we shouldn't have won that." You know what I mean? But
Should we try to do improv on this podcast?
no, I don't like improv podcasts.
I do.
I know you listen to them. I've done one and it felt.
I
really
listen to them
forced.
and I subscribe to 2 with my US dollars.
Like they do scenes and stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe scenes really. I liked more the energy we were at, just dicking around.
Well, that's true, but maybe if there's a lull, we can
Yeah.
fill it. Well,
You
okay.
Fill my lull.
Well, it feels good on the whole. So there's this podcast I listen to called. We're dropping a lot of pods.
Yeah,
in this
just listen
pod.
to anything. But
Everything
us,
else,
really.
they're very established and have a great rhythm. It's called Hey Riddle Riddle. I subscribe to their Patreon. I'm obsessed.
Mm-hmm.
And it's IO people from Chicago.
Cool.
Which doesn't exist anymore? Question
It does.
mark.
It closed down.
Maybe,
I think it's
maybe
reopening
that's
up.
it.
But I think they were both bought. Them and Second City were both bought by private equity.
I see. Anyway, so basically what they do on the show, the structure is they have riddles that they're trying to solve, between which they're interspersed with jokes about the riddles and personal experience, and that reminds me of that, blah, blah, blah. So they're trying to solve these riddles, and then they'll do scenes based on whatever problems happen in the riddle.
Like at the end, they do scenes, or like throughout?
Throughout. And it's informal. So it'll be like, they'll call for a scene. So it'll be like, if the riddle's like, Johnny bought 17 pumpkins at the state fair, one of them will be like, okay, wait, let's cut to the state fair, and Johnny's buying these pumpkins. But it's always really funny because of how outlandish the riddles are. And I'm not saying we're taking their thing, but it's a good, like, they have like 3 or 4 of these that they do per episode.
I think you and I are itching for the exact same thing, but coming at it from different sides. Climaxes. No, I think that, because, like, you know, my favorite podcast for just straight comedy is Come Town.
And honey, that is straight comedy.
Shout
out to my neighbor Stavros.
But no, it's like, but they would do the same thing, but it wasn't we're going to cut to the scene. It would just be someone would start doing a voice of whatever the thing came up was, making fun of them, or usually saying the dumbest possible thing that person could have said.
Yeah.
And like,
and they just launch into it.
Exactly. And it wasn't a Yes Andy thing, and it was, but it was guys riffing, and it was kind of like, there's one episode where they did 22 minutes where Nick was Eric Clapton. And talking
his
about
kid just fell out the window.
Talking about all he ever wanted was how he wanted to
push his kid out.
Have a tiny.
I'm sorry, Eric Clapton. I don't know you at all. That's the only fact I know about you, Eric Clapton.
It's crazy that he let that
It's
happen.
terrible and it's tragic.
But no, he spent 22 minutes talking about how he wished that Eric Clapton's whole life I've dedicated to having a tiny man crawl up my ass and control me like a robot. And it turns into, he would be happy to make a giant robot where he could be the person up the ass controlling it. But like 22 minutes of them interviewing him and just like, but then asking him poignant questions about like, it's like, what was it like being in the Yardbirds? Well, really the Yardbirds was about trying to get a little man up my ass. Like it was, but they killed that much time with a horrible premise.
Right.
And I think we're looking at the same thing, and I think we just need to heighten more. This is so not going out, this podcast. But like,
what? Yes, it
is crazy.
Who cares?
Fine. I'm saying like the heightening of the absurdity of stuff. Because I told you that early on. I felt like we're leaving stuff on the bones. You know, leaving meat on the bones we could joke about.
Right. Which is offensive to you
as a fat man. That does hurt my feelings.
Well, that's number one.
I don't know. Like, are you actively like, we really got to change something up? Is that the place you are?
A little bit. Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. Just because I feel like maybe the last couple times I wasn't looking forward to it as much because I'm like, I have to like come up with a story to tell and what did I do this week and blah, blah, blah. Where I feel like my wit really shines through when there is a subject that I'm kind of throwing things at, more so than bringing a lot to the table. Which I like maybe current events too. I can give my funny takes about the goings on of the world.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. Well, I also do feel like for the most part that has been the case where I'm coming with
you're
a list of
you're
shit
coming
to
up with
talk
the
about,
meat.
and
I
you're just
know,
throwing
and that's more of my thing. But that's what I'm. Yeah. So,
just want to see how long it would go. I messed up on the show because
on this show,
No,
on your improv show.
I thought it was on the 23rd. I went a day early.
That was
and
Trump.
The day
I went a day early to the show.
And the show was actually on my anniversary, on my 1 year.
No.
And me, my girlfriend, and my roommates were all there the day before. And so they had to all watch me process, do I have to ask my girlfriend to be cool with going to this show the next day? Whew.
Maximilian.
Buddy, you know what happened? I texted the improv partner.
I texted her and said, we're breaking up.
No, I texted the improv partner and said, what had happened was because like we knew the finals were either the 23rd and 24th, the semifinals, and I had told the improv partner I can't do the 24th. I'll text the organizer, and then never did. And because I texted her, I was like, oh, I've already taken care of this. You know what I mean? Like, so it just dropped off my radar. Girlfriend was like, she goes, I'm not going to be an asshole about this because there's like someone else performing with you. Like if this was stand-up, I'd be like, all right, you know?
Yeah.
And I get that. But,
Yeah.
it was a fun show, and we should have won. And it was describing improv is the worst.
I know.
It's the worst, but it was
I've tried to do it to my boyfriend where I'm like, well, I was actually really funny in this scene. And then I try to describe it, and it's like, that wasn't funny at all.
The only thing was I crawled through the audience because I was trying to. Her character was clearly murdering me, so I was trying to get through a crawl space.
Yeah.
It was fun.
That's fun.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. We have segments. Throw stuff
Yeah.
out.
I'll cook. I was also because I was like, we have so many shared interests that I was like, what are topics that we would be able to, really dive into? And I was thinking like maybe I know you read a lot of comedy books, and I enjoy comedy. To maybe have like niche comedy moments or impactful comedy moments and talk about those. But I don't want it to be. But I want us to be funny. I don't want to be like
not a dry podcast. We
not
want
dry. We want to be wet as hell,
Yeah.
slipping and sliding out of these chairs.
I think if we go at it with the intentionality of we're gonna try to make that sounds so corny, like we haven't been doing that. But if we come at it like I'm gonna intentionally make more jokes about this. I think like the Woman's World thing last week.
Mm-hmm.
Great, loved hearing about it. Would have loved to talk more down it. But I have the bad tendency of wanting to pull stuff political and answer the question for real.
Right.
I do have that in me. You know
Sure.
what I mean? So
You've got a lot in you.
I contain multitudes. I eat a lot. So anyway, yeah, I'm super down for that. I'm down to try that more if you are.
Was the Woman's World last episode that didn't happen? Or is
No,
that
it's
the
out. It's the one
okay.
that came out.
Oh, thank God.
Oh God, that was a big cultural moment.
Yeah,
for
I feel
us.
like if there was any episode for it to not record, it was probably last week.
I had no idea what we talked about.
Me
at all.
neither.
I remember I got real personal about my half sister. Do you remember
Maybe
that?
that was the world looking out for you, because I was like, Max, are you sure you want to put that in?
Yeah, dude, I'll put her full name in this shit. She sucks, dude.
Well, let's move on. No need to overturn old stones.
Yeah.
Is that a phrase?
Is it?
I don't think so.
Sounded good. That
Sounds
voice
pretty
makes
good.
it most sound.
That's Deborah Baudot.
Oh, is it really?
You're going to get to know her well.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to try to bring folks.
You should. It's going to be fucking crazy.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. The only thing with...
I've got a show 2 days ago, if you're interested in going.
And there's not a video of it, because,
And there's
girl,
no
you did not
video
come to
because
this
you didn't
one.
fucking come. Though I might be taking it on the road.
That would be cool. The only thing about bringing a girlfriend is she's hard of hearing. And so musicals are hard for her.
That makes sense.
Do you know what I mean? Like, her aunt was in Hamilton for like 5 years. And she doesn't love going to
that's
see
a
it.
wordy one.
Yeah, it is. Remember how I told you about the Ben Platt thing?
Mm-hmm.
The guy who I follow for that... Go ahead.
You told me that Ben Platt came out on top.
He's on the right side of history.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I've talked about this occurrence with several people, so I wanted to remember.
Yeah. You mean like they also knew about it, or you brought it up?
They knew about it.
Well, this guy is a Broadway musical theater YouTuber. I'm pulling up his name right
My
now.
hand is getting so sweaty.
And he put a video about how Ben... Do you know Ben Shapiro?
Yeah.
He's a theater dork. Like real life.
Really?
Yes, he wanted to be a screenwriter, obviously. Theater kid. I'm finding this YouTuber's name. I'll link it.
Ben
in the
Shapiro, the like right-wing pipeline guy,
Yeah, they're all...
is a theater guy?
Yeah, he has a video about his 8 favorite Broadway musicals. He has
But-
another one of his 8 worst.
But what show does he go to and he's like, oh yeah, the message thinks I'm a good guy? He can't see that.
He loves all Robert and Hammerstein.
Well, there you go. There you go.
He loves Fiddler on the Roof.
I don't know much about that show.
Well, I'm gonna pull this guy's name up. Anyway, it's a musical theater YouTuber who did the video is just called Ben Shapiro is a stupid musical theater kid, because he is too.
Right.
The joke, yeah, but it's awesome to watch these people, because like his dad is a composer, I think, and his mom is a producer, or it's the other way around, and he was a screenwriter
Work.
and failed, and then was like, you want to be a star.
I want attention.
Yeah, that's how they all are. We should watch Lady Ballers and review Lady Ballers.
I don't know what that is.
We do. We have similar interests, but we have
very different.
divergent. Do you know the Daily Wire?
The Daily Wire.
Ben Shapiro's company.
No.
Huge media player online, like huge. It's a reason a lot of people are Nazis in the suburbs, right? Had Candace Owen on there for quite a while. They just did.
She just said something against Trump.
She'll do whatever, dude. She's not.
Right.
Yeah. She got fired from there because she's anti-Israel, and she's only anti-Israel because she's a Nazi. Like she's fully, she's Blitler is a good way to call it. But
you know, one of our coworkers went to high school with her.
the one who we're disappointed in,
Who were you disappointed in?
the one that hugged you, that you thought you liked but you didn't after the election. The one who wrestled
didn't
you in
hug
such an
me.
aggressive way.
He shoved me up against a wall and patted me down.
Told you to spread them.
By the way, it's fine.
Yeah.
If anything, it was a huge win for community.
It really was.
It really was. No.
Interesting. Well,
Redacted.
no, I think you could say that specific first name, I think, is broad enough.
I don't want redacted. We talked about him on the podcast.
Okay.
Not that he'll listen.
Yeah. Anyway,
Redacted.
Anyway, yeah, the Daily Wire. Oh my God, why did I bring them up? Because we're talking about Lady Ballers, buddy.
What is Lady Ballers?
It's a feature-length film they made.
Work. We should totally do that.
It is about a high school men's basketball team
Yeah.
and their coach, who years and years later.
Feels insane.
No, we're gonna keep it until I'm
Okay.
done talking about Lady Ballers.
Go for it.
So it's a high school basketball coach. They won the state championship. That's the best point in his life. 10, 15 years later, wife divorces him because he's a loser. So to be a winner, he goes and gets his high school men's basketball team together to pretend to be women to win
No.
as trans athletes. They get to win all the women's leagues. They made a feature and they're like, comedy's back, baby. It's a raunchy hangover Anchorman style.
Girl.
The
Yes.
3 best things about it.
Why are they so scared of things that? Well, we can't. This is not a politics podcast. But I'm just like, so you're making up a crazy story and then scaring yourself.
It's fucking their dogs in a glass window.
It's like if literally, it's like if you're making like a shadow puppet and you made a scary face and then it scared you. It's not real, girl. It's not real.
Yeah, you're in the mirror just practicing your scary faces. You're,
Yeah.
I can't go to sleep now.
Yeah. Here's my impression of a Republican in a mirror.
Honey, it happened again. Sweetheart, you're fine.
Trans people.
So, best parts of that movie. That's all you want. Are one, they wanted to do this documentary, but realized none of them would do what it takes to be considered trans. Yep. That was how that movie got started. They wanted to shoot this documentary.
But a documentary.
Where there's 2 of them that go do these documentaries, and the idea, Ben Shapiro pitched it to them that they would, why don't you guys dress up as girls and say you are, and then go dominate some basketball leagues, right?
In real time.
In real life. Do it and make it a documentary about how insane this
But
is.
it's almost like men don't want to play in women's sports.
Well, no, they couldn't. They couldn't get the proof to qualify. You had to do too much to prove you were a woman.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because men
I
aren't
see, yeah.
wandering into women's sports.
It's also
because
fun-
they're men.
It's also funny because professional means something, right? Like a professional athlete, this is years old at this point. Brittany Griner is a WNBA player. She's the one who got arrested in Russia. She talks shit on DeMarcus
What'd she get
Cousins
arrested for?
having a little bit of weed, and all the WNBA players have to play in other leagues.
Get her.
Well, I remember DeMarcus Cousins, who was an NBA All-Star, 6'11". They were talking about, someone was like, maybe they'll draft Brittany Griner because she was huge in college, and he was like, she couldn't play with us or something like that, and she got all mad and called him like a little man. It's like, no, you would get demolished by DeMarcus Cousins, an all-star in the NBA. I don't care if you're the best WNBA player ever. You would get crushed. But these dudes who are online, or Ben Shapiro, the 5'2", that's a professional athlete.
Yeah.
Angel Reese would kick your ass specifically.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Maybe they wouldn't in the NBA. I guarantee they wouldn't. But these dudes who get mad about it, I'd school her, motherfucker, you would break your own ankles trying to dribble around.
Literally.
'Kay.
So this is how a lot of gays are about Drag Race, where they're like, oh, her taste is terrible, her makeup is bad, I could go on there and do that. No, you couldn't. No, you couldn't. And not that I was totally like that, though I can make a fierce garment from nothing. I've been trying to do drag makeup for my upcoming show, and I'm like, I don't have the skill. This is a skill that you learn over years and years and years, and I don't have it. And if I went on Drag Race tomorrow, I would go out first because I'm bad at this.
Yeah, and that's how you sound, conservatives. You sound like a gay guy.
You sound like a gay guy.
This is what we're going to do. This is what we'll bridge. I'll bring the politics. You tell me how it's close to being gay, and we'll turn all these homophobes at least into
And
allies.
we'll hold hands the whole time.
Yeah. Well, this is like the meth thing, because I think that's a real angle.
I think it's good.
All right, so the other 2.
Meth is gay, and if you do it, you're gay.
You're super gay.
Because then the gay guys who do meth, they're
Like,
like, yeah, we're gay
that's
and
why
we
I
do
do
meth. That's why I do it. I do meth because I'm gay.
Yeah, he goes, I came in my starter pack. Did you guys not?
Yeah. With a crystal pipe.
The other two good ones in that movie are they go into the first big game, right? Because they're trying to win money. That's the idea. They want to be winners. They want to win some money.
Yeah.
And they go into their first huge arena. There's like 4 people watching. And then
Please
he
go
goes,
on the stage, huge arena.
huh?
Nothing. keep
Because
going.
it's, yeah, boys. That's right. It's women's basketball. No one watches. Then what the fuck are you doing here? Why are you so mad about all of this if
So
nobody wants to
fucking
watch it?
weird.
And then you got to guess how it ends. They're in the big championship game. Take any guess, and you will think the most offensive one you can think of.
They win and then they rip off their wigs and they're like, see.
Not even close.
They realize that they really are women deep down and they all transition and become a harem.
One of them does.
Work.
One of them does, and the coach says, "No, you're not." And he goes, "How do you know?" And he kicks him in the balls. End of that conversation.
Oh my god.
That's not. No. The ending is the big climax is they're in the championship game, right?
I
Where
don't
they've
want to watch
been- they've been
this.
smacking these women, right? And a team of black dudes comes and has been doing the same thing, and then yeah. A team of black dudes come, and then they realize that they've been perverting the game, so they sub in all of their like daughters and young girls to like be in it or whatever, and they get destroyed by these black dudes who are pretending to be trans women. End of movie. Let's watch it.
Let's watch it. We
Yeah,
should watch
it's
along.
so bad.
Oh my god.
Whew. So anyway, that's Ben Shapiro's
That
company.
makes me so sad. You're like, you thought we were villainizing trans people the whole time? Watch out, black people.
Surprise, black people! You catching everything you
Catching
can.
strays as
Yeah.
well. Wow, that's deeply upsetting, and I'm sorry to hear it.
Yeah. So anyway, Lady Ballers, if you would like
We
to
should do a
not
watch along.
buy it, we should definitely. I've listened to like 5 or 6 recaps of that show, just like different people who I've never seen it, but I can describe
So
it.
are we doing recaps or like a watch along?
See, I think watch-alongs, if we did it like on Twitch, would make sense.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
that's a whole nother thing to do. You know what I mean?
So we should both separately watch it or together watch it?
I think either's fine.
I think separately because then we're going to be making the jokes together during
I
it.
see. Yeah. We could,
So
I'm down though.
first 2 episodes of Black Mirror come out. I smoke weed for the first time in forever and watched the first 2 episodes.
And
We were laughing our fucking asses. Like it was such a good high.
yeah.
Scary, disturbing show. Not funny. We were having the absolute
That's
blast
awesome.
time of our life. Really good. I wanted to say like specific jokes that I said. Can't remember a
No,
single one.
And they wouldn't be funny in this
And it wouldn't be
context,
funny.
yeah.
It wouldn't.
It
be
is funny, like how mad that has to make whoever makes that show because it's fucking scary and serious. People are out there having fun watching this.
And it's still thought provoking, laughing our asses off.
That is probably one of the most fucked 2 shows. That show's been on Netflix and
Flocked
popular.
too.
Fucked too.
Oh.
It's been around for a long time and really popular.
Like people put it on and then,
And then
they
they end
just
up
fuck.
fucking, yeah. Or like between sods, you know?
Yeah.
What do you think is the most fuckable show? What's the show that's got?
A nature documentary.
Right, The Night. I understand now.
I look at the animals and I get hard. No, I think it's good like background because I don't want like a big loud noise.
Yeah.
Some birds chirping, fine.
Whatever. It's like we're doing it in the park.
I definitely had. No, I'm not telling this personal story.
Okay.
Basically, I put that on one time during a hookup because he tried to put on something fucking weird. Like he was like, I don't know what to put on, and clicked something like maybe it was Black Mirror. I think it literally was.
That's funny.
And I was like, this episode's about a kid who's a pedophile. We're not fucking to this. Let's put on something fun
Chill,
and
please.
charming.
Yeah. I have never put something
It literally
on.
was Black Mirror.
to set
That's
the
so
mood.
funny.
Yeah. I know what I'm talking about, dude. I'm
I don't
of
put
the
shit
people.
on to start the mood either.
I can't I've seen like porn or like
You've seen porn?
where they have stuff on
What
in
do
the
they
background.
do in there?
We'll tell you when you're older. They will have like SpongeBob on the TV. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Have you ever seen that, or like behind the scenes stuff?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't like that you guys are watching kids stuff around this. This really raises some flags for me.
Well, I guess they're just bored and they take the little blue pill and they're like clocking in,
Cocking in.
and out, and in and out, and in
and
and
out.
out, and in and out, and then they go to in and out.
And then they go to In-N-Out. Yeah. I've never had In-N-Out.
Me neither.
I
Have you ever had White Castle?
There's one 3 blocks from my apartment.
There's one 3 blocks from here.
It's solid. Are you a
I've
White
never
Castle?
tried it.
They're good. You can be ready.
We could do an eat-along podcast. Mukbang.
mukbang. They're really good. You're gonna shit your brains out. Oh, dude! After the
I'm
show
not gonna
last
have
night,
it.
you should try it. After the show last night,
You shit your brains
my
out?
improv partner. Yes, as the show, it's like a 45-minute show because it's 4 groups doing 11 minutes. So as the first, I'm third. The first group goes up, my stomach goes. I'm like, fuck. And during the set, I crawled through the audience, whole time thinking, "Don't shit your pants. Don't shit your pants." And after the show, I didn't even turn in my vote. I went and shit immediately, and then turned in my vote. And I came out, and we were all just talking, and Cassie comes up and goes, "Someone blew it up in there."
No.
And
But I bet
Steven
you
had
don't
gone
care
in
about
right
that.
after me,
Mm.
and I'd sprayed a bunch.
He walked out. His hair was completely burnt off. His eyebrows were gone.
But yeah, she comes out and goes, "Someone blew it up in there." I was like, "Me, I did that."
I've never shit my pants. Ever.
Never.
Never. The closest I came, I got those stomach gurgles on a train.
Yeah.
And I was holding the pole for
Bubble
dear
guts,
life.
dude.
Oh.
It's the worst.
I went into a Starbucks and I was like, "Can I please use your restroom?" And she was like, "Here's the code, baby." I was like, she saw the look in my eye.
Yeah.
So shout out to that
So
queen.
you want to give me the code, or you want to get a mop?
And
Those are the
that's what she saw in my
options. Yeah.
eyes. So thank you, Queen, for keeping my streak alive, or no streak.
Streak free. Can you imagine? She had to have learned that lesson at some point. I just saw a guy come in and be like, "Please," she's like, "I'm sorry, you have to buy something."
I was gonna be her.
I'm so sorry.
I'll be her, and you be you.
Me specifically.
You be a person who has to poop at a Starbucks.
No, it's just. Can I please use your bathroom?
I'm
code?"
sorry, you need the code.
No, I'll
and
buy something when I'll come out. Just give me the code. I have to.
Right, but I have to. I just cleaned up, and we're kind of closing for the night.
Clean up again.
Don't yell at me, sir.
No, that was me pooping.
Did you just know me?
Forceful poop.
You might not know this, but I, the Starbucks worker, am an improv comedian, and that goes against my beliefs.
Oh man, I don't like fucking coffee culture. I don't like the Starbucks of it all. That I have to meet every
No,
time I meet
God.
someone. Even you have your cafe. You fucking
Well, I
love.
love cafes.
I just don't.
I do.
You know how it's like, the like stereotype of people are always writing at coffee shops, and
Mm-hmm.
look at me, I'm writing. I have to have people looking at me when I write. Do you know that kind of?
I do, but I write in coffee shops, but that's not the reason why.
Why do you? Like, I just don't. I find it distracting and uncomfortable and less likely to be able to plug in. Like, I haven't seen the positive to writing in a coffee shop.
I feel like when I'm home, I try to...
I was being polite. Thank you.
That's crazy.
What?
The burp and blow away is crazy.
It's called being polite. Thank you.
I don't know if polite society would agree.
What do you do? Just burp and then look
I'd probably
back?
like kind of close my mouth a little bit and be like,
That feels way crazier to try to cough on
I think
top
it's
of a
crazier
burp.
to go, blah. That's crazy.
That's polite. Making sure you didn't smell the fucking sandwich I just ate that you watched me eat.
That you scarfed.
I did not. That's crazy because I didn't even feel that fast.
Really?
I
was
house
watching you.
food.
I was watching you being like, you're like, because you were talking the whole time. What was I talking about? I had something to
The
say.
positive of cafes for writing.
Positive cafes for writing is I feel that when I'm home, I get distracted by my phone and get distracted. Oh, I have laundry to do and I'm kind of hungry, so maybe I'll make a snack and then I'll lay in bed for a minute. And while I'm kind of cozy, maybe I should just take a nap. But if I go out and I'm like, well, I'm isolated from everything,
Yeah.
which is kind of not true 'cause you're actually not isolated from
At all.
everything, but it helps me focus.
Well, so if I'm going out, I want to write at a library. That's my favorite place to write. But like a coffee shop, I'm not great at writing at home either. A desk helps. A desk
helps.
A desk not in your room really helps too. Like
Right.
your dining room table would be pretty good for writing at.
And it is, but I try not to spend all my days out there
Totally
because
get
yeah.
Yeah, roommates that want access to it, and you do need to change space. I get that totally.
Right.
For me, that's a library. I love a library.
I love that for
There's
you.
so many. To me, I haven't had to do it recently, but there have been times where it's like I just don't want to do this right now. I'll just get up and go and pick up any book and read 2 pages. You know what I mean? Put it
Sure. And yeah. Oh, I thought you were talking about something else.
back. What do you mean?
I have the thing where I'm like, if I'm like, I really don't want to go to the gym, or I really don't want to write, or I really don't want to read, or I really don't want to, I'm like, okay, do it for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And if you want to stop, stop.
Yep.
And
You never
guess
want to.
what? I never want to stop. I said I never want to stop.
Yeah, that's definitely a technique.
Right. I'm like, I'll read before bed. Let me read 15 pages, and then I can be done. Guess who's 45 pages in?
You were trying to think of a number that was realistic right there. I know how to read. No, I can't even
C
do a
spot
diner.
go. Well, where's he gonna go?
Oh, this is engaging.
C spot run. Well, now he's going fast. 4 pages later, I'm done the book.
Mr. O'Leary, you're a sophomore at NYU. Can you just do your homework?
Yes. And I'm gonna read this book in addition. I love how we really naturally fell into that. Really found our rhythm.
Well, like I would think diners would be good for work too. I can never do it. I'll go, I'll eat, or I'll go do coffee or whatever, and then it's just like I feel weird sitting here now.
Right.
I don't know. I can't do it.
Sir, you've been here all day. You haven't eaten or drank anything. You haven't wrote a single word of your screenplay.
Can a dude masturbate in peace, please?
Well, you could, but I'd prefer to suck your dick.
We're nailing this
We're
stuff.
really good at
Yes,
improv and all of that sort of thing.
You guys are going to talk about your dicks again?
55 minutes.
Of nothing. Yeah, it was great. No, in a good way.
Yeah, I feel like the beginning half really blew by. Emphasis on blue.
Blue.
Emphasis on
And
bi.
bi. That's a real move, dude. I'm upset to have got
really
any
funny.
pushback on that move.
No, I've come around to it and I love
okay,
it.
thank you.
But it is quirky as hell, and you should know that.
Okay, good. I like to be a little quirked
And
up
I
white
love
boy.
that. Yeah.
All right, this is a strip. Oh, I pissed my pants. Oh, I really tried to push a fart out after you gave me a hard time for that. I couldn't. I was like,
I don't
this
want
might
you
be
to
a
shit
solid.
my bed.
Yeah, I don't want to shit at your house in my clothes.
Yeah. I've been having really bad nosebleeds recently.
Do you get those?
Ever
is
since I was a kid.
Oh,
This morning, woke up 6:30 in the morning, blood all over my face.
what's the cause? Is there one?
Well, first of all, I haven't had one in a while. Drank 2 glasses of white wine on Tuesday. I'm getting back into drinking.
That was also 2 days ago, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a funny cause to give it a 2-day delay to give you a nosebleed.
No, it happened that night.
Oh, okay.
I got a big one that
Oh,
night
whoa.
because it constricts the blood vessels.
Yeah.
Then the past 2 days, nosebleeds upon nosebleeds.
Interesting.
Woke up this morning, face covered in blood. It's a problem. And it's the springtime allergies really do it to me too.
It's very funny that you get fucked up and look like you were in a fight. Like, no, I just had some Zinfandel. Sir, are you okay?
Yeah, people in middle school used to be like, Owen's on his period. Owen has a nose period.
And you were like, I wish, girl.
I'm going to go compete in women's sports. Yeah. But that's my update of the week.
No, that sucks.
What have you been up to this week? Now that we're 55 minutes into the pod, we can really be getting
the
into
show last night. I think that was the big one. Yeah. Anyway,
I've been doing a lot of work at production company.
Yes, day job stuff.
And I think people need to change their perspectives on life. we have one of the easiest jobs in the world to make the amount of money per hour that we do and the amount of time we spend sitting on our ass.
You know, you make less than what minimum wage was in the 60s, right?
Sure.
I think that's the perspective to keep, is that this is what
And
every
I get
job
what you
should
mean,
be.
but I feel that the negativity of others is not going to make the time go by faster or make you any more money.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's going to make it worse.
I don't go to work without my computer anymore.
I don't go to work without having my coffee.
I learned Catan this week.
I don't go to work without my butt plug.
I had a 16-hour shift that I sat for about 14 hours, right? Because it was but it was like in the break room, and then it was like, oh, we got to flip something in 4 hours, right?
Right.
And, oh, we got to, at the end of the night, do this stuff and charge this stuff. But I learned Catan. I played 3 games of Catan.
I want to play with you. I love that game.
It was fun.
Play along podcast.
Would you be the Settlers podcast? We about white stuff mostly.
The Colonizers Pod. That probably would have been a grabbing name, but we're good boys.
Someone's probably already got that too.
Probably.
Yeah, it was fun. I had the dumbest guy at work. I hope he listens. First of all, huge long AI conversation. I just see myself out of those. You know, artificial intelligence.
Oh God.
I had a guy. I was a graphic
It's
designer
like all
there
the Joker.
who was like, this guy was like
At
work. This is
At
not the
our
dumb
work?
guy. No. I haven't worked there
Okay.
in forever.
work.
This guy was a graphic designer who said he'd look at my website. I was like, cool, thanks. And then he's like, yeah, it looks pretty good, but have you ever used the AI builder? I was like, no, I refuse.
It's paragraphs and paragraphs.
Oh, this is
of
my
text.
buddy. I was describing.
Oh.
I was
I was like,
describing
why
what
are you
happened.
talking so in depth with this person
No,
that
this
you
is one
don't
of my
care
good
for?
buddies. Okay.
Good Judies, as we say.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So they were talking about AI
Uh-huh.
and how it's the future. I was like, oh, whatever. I'm just going to keep editing, right? And eventually they start talking about their phones, and the guy who I've never met before, it's a guy I do like who I think has got a dumb opinion on AI. And this guy I've never met is talking about how, like, Blackwater makes a phone. It's like, you mean the defense contract? I can't imagine having a military contractor phone in my pocket. Those are just bombs. You saw what Israel did to Palestine. Like, those are our bombs. Like, they also are phones, but they're bombs with phones attached. Like,
Yeah.
I'm never holding that.
Right.
He goes, well, they're good about privacy and stuff. I said, okay.
Privacy.
Right. So he goes, I think his heart's in the right place. I go, the guy who owns Blackwater? He goes, yeah. I go, he's a demon wrapped in flesh. What are you talking about?
You got to use your
I
term.
got to use my term. That's
Yeah.
not out there because the last week's episode got.
Oh, fuck.
But anyway, came up with that episode. With that. And
Demons
I
wrapped in flesh, Mac's term that he wanted to use really bad.
And I told him that. And he was like, yeah. I said,
he was like, I
defense
love that
contractor-
term that you used.
This is really impressive,
That was
actually.
really cool.
I think I'm an ally now.
Yeah.
I think Palestinians should be alive. But he was like, he goes, yeah, his heart's in the right place. I go, what? I said, the defense, you mean the place that when you're not done murdering for the military, you got to go somewhere else to just get more murders in? And he was like, well, I mean, someone has to do the dirty work. I go, no,
they don't.
He's like, that's just not the way the world works. It's like, why do you get to be like the pragmatic one? Why? That is such a fantasy of the way the world works. Yep. Good guys with guns go in and just make everything all better. And we're just supposed to be like, yeah, at least he's like thinking with his head.
Yeah.
You know? Oh, and he loves AI until he's scared of it. The only thing that scared him was when Glenn Beck talked to it and it said it might reprogram itself. I'm like, I need to be allowed to use words that hurt people I like because you need described with hurtful words right now.
Fur. Whenever you feel the need to say those words, say fur. You're a son of a... Wait a second. Fur. You stupid. Fur.
You fur. Well, that's an hour.
All right, overall.
We did it, right?
Overall,
we did it.
we're exploring our options.
Overall, we might open this podcast up.
We might open up. That's so funny. But really quick, I will say the first episode I ever listened to of the Good Children podcast was because of a guest.
Yeah.
And then I liked them and kept listening.
Yeah. No, I know that's the benefit of guests.
I know that's the benefit of guests. I think that was our most fun of the episode.
Yeah.